Like the car rolling back, like everybody like, ah, like girls screaming, like.
All you wanna do is just slay. Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This your girl, All Things Essential. I am back with another video, and today I am doing a story time. These story times are normally like the commercial of my channel. So I do a little bit of makeup here, and then I tell you guys a little bit about myself so you guys can know who you're subscribing to. When I get on YouTube, I keep seeing story times related to my experience as well as growing up and stuff. So I'm like, okay, are people really talking about these things? I'm like, okay, so why not talk about these things with my subscribers or to people who will watch? So I'm here. It's about 9:08 at night right now on a Wednesday. And I just finished doing a video with this review for this wig. If you guys would like to see that review, click this link up there. Today I am going to be telling a story time about my group home experience. Yes, a lot of my friends don't even know that I was in a group home once. I don't talk about it a lot because I don't know, that's just an awkward conversation, and then people want to get all in your business. Not saying I want to be open to sharing it with my friends. I just don't say, hey, want to go up to them like, hey, you remember I used to be in a group home, you want to hear my story? Like, no. I mean, if it comes up and it's a topic and somebody wants some advice and I end up having the same experience, and we could talk about it or whatever, but I never really just sit down and be like, oh, I was in a group home. Like, no, I don't do stuff like that. It's definitely not me. So a lot of my friends is probably click on this video like, what? Yes, I was in a group home before I was adopted. And I know one of my subscribers were saying that she wanted to hear my adoption story, but I cannot tell my adoption story without telling my group home story. So I'm here to tell my group home story. Why I had to go to a group home, and we're going to talk about my experience in the group home, and we're going to talk about the people that I was with in the group home, the staff, the name of the group home, all that. So let's dive right into it. But before we get into that, I have 3 things before you come into my channel. Learn with me, grow with me, and do not judge me. The only way I'm gonna keep pushing out story times, I have a whole book in my head of my life, and it is not peaches and cream, but I'm happy to share this stuff with you guys because I mean, it happened to me, and obviously it happened to me for a reason. So, and I'm not ashamed of it. So yeah, I'm going to be telling my group home story today, and we're going to start. I have my notebook here, so I have a ton of things to talk about. Hopefully this video is not long, but I do want to dive into the background of my group home experience. So stick with me if you like. If you don't, so sorry. Jumping right into it. I went to a group home when I was, I want to say 13 or 14. I don't know, how old are you when you in the 8th grade? Maybe 13. Yeah, I was in the 8th grade. So maybe I was 13. I don't remember. However, at the time before I even moved to the group home, I was living with my grandma, my mom's mom. It was me, my brother, and my 2 older sisters. If you guys want to know how many siblings I have, you can go back to the Get to Know Me video, and I explain my family tree. And my mom had went to jail for 10 years. 10 years, and my grandma took custody of us. My grandma was very abusive. She barely fed us. Locked the refrigerator to her to the kitchen. The kitchen and the dining room had a door to it, and she would keep a lock on it so we didn't go in the refrigerator and eat when we wanted to. I don't know why she did it. I think it was just to prevent food from getting eaten. We came from a household like with my mom when we were living with my mom before this, we came from a household where we ate when we wanted to. My mom didn't mind giving us snacks and fixing us food or whatever the case may be. We couldn't go outside. Mind you, we used to always go outside with my mom. I didn't go outside. I used to follow my mom everywhere. I was still little when my mom went to jail, so I was like 6 or 7 maybe. I think it was like 6 or 7. I was still like a mama's girl. I followed my mom everywhere. I followed my dad everywhere. Yeah, I used to follow them everywhere. So I didn't really go outside, but I still played outside, if that makes sense. My sisters and my brother was the one that's running the streets. Per my mom, that's what she said. I remember when I was in elementary school, I'm the youngest, by the way, from my biological mom and dad. I'm the youngest child of both of them. I remember that when we were in elementary school, like my grandma, you know, she had a drinking problem, so she would come home drunk sometimes, and she would abuse us, all of us. And when I say abuse, I mean like physically abusing, and then mentally as well. Those were the only type of abuses that we experienced in the household. It's physical abuse and mentally abuse. And if you don't know about mental abuse, you may need to Google that. So my sister got tired of it, my older sister. She got tired of it, and she ended up telling the counselor at school. So the counselor at school decided to call CPS, I guess, and got the courts involved. My grandma was like, since you don't like it here, to my older sister, if you don't like it here, you can leave. So she basically put her in a group home first. She started, you know, really abusing my second sister, my second oldest sister. So then, you know, she was telling too, so she ended up going to a group home as well. So then it was just me and my brother in the household. My brother was already adopted by my biological parents, and they did not adopt me, so I used to just go over their house. I will tell you guys about my adoption story after this story. I probably will do 2 more makeup looks and then another story time about how I got adopted. I ended up in a group home. My sisters were still in a group home. My brother was adopted. I was the only one in the home. There's a reason why I was the only one still in the house. But once I feel comfortable talking about that situation, then I would tell you guys why I was still in the home. That would be another story time to unpack. But we just talking about group home right now. Eventually, my grandma gave up custody of me as well. And the reason why she gave up custody of me is because I ran the streets. I was 12 years old, and I was running the streets and staying out late and, you know, hanging with the wrong people, smoking weed, drinking. I was a bad preteen. And now that I look back, I'm just like, why was I even doing stuff like that? Like, that's just not who I am. So, but yeah, I was doing all those things. So she gave up custody of me for that. She gave up custody of me because I was out in these streets at a young age. I used to go out, smoke weed, drink, talk to boys at 12. Talk to boys, hang out all night, stay at my friend's house. I used to be in this hood, that hood, chilling, whatever. Like, I was just all over the place. Wasn't doing anything like reckless, but I was just, you're 12 years old. Can you imagine your 12-year-old daughter being out all night, going to different people's houses, different friends' houses and stuff like that? Like, could you really imagine that? No, I wouldn't dare let my 12-year-old daughter do that. So I'm thinking now, like, what was I actually doing? So wasn't doing anything reckless, but I was not at home when I was supposed to be at home. So my grandma got tired of that. You know, at that point of time where everybody else was gone, the only thing she really did was mentally abuse me, like say stuff off the wall, like, you know, stuff that she know would hurt me and stuff like that. So it's many a night that I probably cried myself to sleep in my grandma's house. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, because that's how ruthless and that's how she was, like. And yeah. So my grandma gave up custody of me, and I really couldn't believe it when she did it, because she took me to court, And I thought I was going to court for something else. I don't know what I thought. I was just too young to even grasp some of this stuff. So I'm just like, it happened so fast. But I went to court and I'm just like, what am I here for? I'm thinking she's going to court for one of my siblings or something. No, she went to court for me. So while we were in court, the group home people was there, and she was like, I will send your stuff. That was that. This is my mom. So the group home that I was in is called the Holland House. I'm getting to the story, y'all. Sorry. But the group home that I was in was called the Holland House. It no longer exists. And if it do exist, it may be under a different name. This is a Black group home owned by a Black person. And honestly, this is going to be a shocker to some of y'all, but being in a group home was 50%, no, I want to say 70% good, because they actually treated me nice. Like, however, I was dealing with some things, so we'll get into that. So yeah, they actually treated me nice. I didn't really, it wasn't a bad group home where they like, you can't go outside, you can't do this, we have to monitor you. They monitor us, but it was kind of like a sorority house. Yeah, it was kind of like a sorority house. So when I first got to the group home, of course, I was like, what is this? Like, why am I here? Like, I was so angry. I remember being so angry, like, why am I here? Why am I here? So the girls were very nice to me. I do not remember everybody's name, but I'm going to say their name anyways. I'm going to say the people that I know. So in my room, there was, I think, the girl named E. And then I'm just going to say their first alphabet. E. I think her name started with a K. The other girl name started with a K. So K, E, and me. And then in the next room, it was G and B. And then in the next room, I don't even know who was in the other room. Like, they're non-existent. I don't even know who was in the other room. That's crazy. They wasn't there for that long. But those are the people that I really knew. So anyway, so I was sharing a room with two girls. When I first got there, I remember crying myself to sleep every night, like, to the point that the girls could not sleep. And it was a cry to the point, like, I felt betrayed by my own grandma. And then I'm pretty sure my sister and them, when they got in this situation, they cried too. And like, I felt betrayed by my grandma, and I just feel like I was not supposed to be there. So, and then I was away from my family, like my sisters. I'm normally like with my sisters or with my brother. Like, we grew up together. So, I'm away from my family. So that was my first time actually being away from my family, like forced. So yeah, like, so I was really like sad and stuff. That was like for the first couple of nights. Like I said, the girls in the house was really nice. My roommates were really cool. Like, I really didn't have an issue. I know K and E used to get into it for certain reasons. That K, she was like she used to do dumb stuff, and E used to be like, no. Like, listen, you're not about to do that. That's just no. Like, are you dumb? That's what she used to be like, are you dumb? The group home staff, they were all Black. Okay, so I didn't appreciate that then, but I'm like, okay, all Black staff, all females, you know what I'm saying? Get it? They were all Black. I really didn't have an issue with any of them. We may have bumped heads a couple of times because I'm a headstrong. When I don't get my way, I get irritated, I get angry, and then like, you're not my parent, you're not my guardian, so you trying to tell me what to do? Nah, we ain't about to have that. So that's the type of person I was. In the group home, we got to talk on the phone, but we had scheduled hours. I used to talk to my sister, like my oldest sister used to always call me, check on me. And I used to talk to my grandma sometimes, but not really. I talked to my brother sometimes and my adopted parents. They would get on the phone when I called my brother. And I didn't really even talk to my sister, my middle sister. Like, I really didn't even talk to her. No telling what she went through. She was in the group home too, so I really didn't even talk to her. So yeah, that's weird now that I think about it, because now we're like super close. So anyway, so I talked on the phone. We had a scheduled phone time, and we had the weekly cook time. So 1 week I would cook, like you would have to cook Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the whole week. Like, you have the weekly cook, so you would have to write out the menu. You would have to let the staff know like what they need to get from the store, what ingredients, or like we'll go to the store with them. But if we wasn't, we had to write down that information. And I actually like that because it taught me how to cook. I mean, my family taught me how to cook, but that taught me how to be like a little bit more independent, because I was cooking for the whole house, and you got to cook your meals or whatever the case may be. I thought that was like really hands-on learning type of environment for me. So I definitely enjoyed that. I did go to school while I was there. I was in middle school. I went to Providence Middle. I was in 8th grade, and school was okay. Like, still middle school drama, but it was definitely okay. I don't have any comments or anything to say about that. Providence was okay. It just, I had to get used. I went from a school that was just all black kids to I went to a school where it was mixed. It was a mixed crowd. Like, you would see Spanish, white people, black, Hispanic, you would see all of those people there, which was not a problem. Just saying, like, going from a all black school to a mixed school, it's really a adjustment. But I actually made some good friends there. Some people I still follow on social media, whatever the case may be, and some people I knew. It was like people there that I actually knew, that was actually from the same hood as me. So I was like, oh, so I felt a little bit more comfortable then. At the group home, we went on outings every weekend. I think we got to choose 2 outings. No, that was a reach. We got to choose 1 outing, and you can decide if you wanted to be Friday or Saturday or Sunday, whatever you choose or whatever. So, what I was gonna say, they were really like open to us to doing whatever we wanted to do. Like, they would take us to the hair store. If we wanted to go to the movie, they would take us. We went skating a couple of times. We went bowling. We went out to eat sometimes. We went to arcades. Anything kids. We went to the mall some weekends. Like, that was our outings, and they would pay for these things. Like, but it would have to be under a certain budget. So, yes, and they would give us allowance every week if we did our chores, because we would have rotating chores. Maybe it'll be take the trash out or clean the dishes or whatever, vacuum the floor, stuff like that. And if you did your chores, they would give you allowance. Allowance was like maybe $7 to $8. If you did extra stuff, you may get a little bit more, but if you get more, they would have to keep the money until you say, I want to go to the movie and spend my money, or I want to go to the hair store and spend my money, or I want to go here to spend my money. They would keep anything over $7. They wouldn't let you have no money over $7. And then it was levels in the house where if you did good for a certain amount of time and then you brought home good grades and stuff like that, and you were just on the right track, you could work up until getting a cell phone. And I think one of the girls ended up working up until getting a cell phone, but then she messed up and it was gone. So it was like really being in a structured household, kind of. It wasn't like, I can't really complain. So, yeah, our outings was lit. I remember one summer we took a trip. Where did we go? We went to Virginia Beach for a week, and we did stuff up there, or whatever the case may be. I think when I wasn't there, they went to the Bahamas. Yes, this group home took these girls to the Bahamas. So I thought that was dope or whatever. You know, giving somebody an experience is something they would never forget. So I thought that was really dope. So they end up taking them to the Bahamas. But I end up going, when I was there, I went to Virginia Beach, and that was just enough for me because I don't remember going many places when I was before a group home. So the outings, all that was good. They would pretty much take you anywhere. Like if you say, hey, I need to go, at the time we used to take pictures on like the little not the digital cameras, the little cameras you get out the store. We used to take pictures on those, and like we'll develop our film or whatever. They'll take you to do that. They'll take you to do pretty much anything. If you wanted to go to the store or whatever case may be, they would trust you enough to do stuff like that. So, and I remember when I first got there on the first week, like this how bad my grandma didn't take care of us really, because I didn't have like the proper underwear, the socks, the clothes. I didn't have anything. Like they gave me $200. They give all the girls $200 to go shopping when they get there. You could decide what you like to wear. And one of the staff members took me shopping. She took me shopping, and she was really nice. I actually went to school with her daughter. Like she was really nice, and you know, she helped me find my size. Like the staff was really nice. Like that's all I can say. Like they were really nice. I didn't appreciate it then, but they were like really reasonable, really nice, really understanding. Like it was no like weird type of vibes or whatever. So yes, they took me shopping when I first got there. $200 worth of shopping. And then when Christmas came around, they gave everybody $200. And we could go shopping with that. So I remember around Christmas they took us shopping, and then if it was our birthday, they'll like give us a cake and decorate the house and stuff like that, you know, just to make us feel you know, like family, I guess. So all these stuff is good. Like I know y'all expecting like, okay, when the new bad stuff coming in, I'm gonna get to that, and it's not really bad. It's just I was just doing dumb stuff when I was that age. So, shopping, there was no strangers to shopping. And I think, that was dope. I want to talk about the little bad stuff that I did. One day, one of my favorite staff members took us out. That was actually my mentor. She actually took us out to Play-Doh Closet, because when we couldn't fit our stuff, we would go trade it in and get some money for it, you know. So if you went to Play-Doh Closet, you know. So we used to have the expedition, and all of us used to fit in there. So they was like, yes, we got a car, so y'all don't have to. We kept saying we didn't want to ride in the van. They got an expedition, so we was like, all right, we lit. So oh, and we used to go to the gym. They used to take us to the gym, all that. Like it was like a regular, you was just living like with girls. It was like a sorority house for real. Like it was a nice group home. Like they were probably way too nice. So yes, the group home lady took us to Play-Doh Closet, and she went in. She had to go in with the girl or whatever, so that was trading the clothes. So me being bad, we all sitting in the car. I'm like, man, it's hot out here. I'm about to get in the car, and I'm about to get in the driver's seat and pull off. Y'all, I had never drove a car before. I don't know why. What in my little brain told me to get in this front seat, pull the gear, and move this car. Yo, I'm sitting here when I was writing these points down, these little key points, trying to stay on track. I was like, why would I even do that? Like, what would prompt me to do that type of stuff? What? So everybody started rolling back, y'all. Like the car rolling back, like everybody like, ah, like girls screaming, like, what? Stop, press on the brake. I'm like, which one is the brake? Which I could have hit anybody's car. I could have drove us to the traffic. I could have did whatever. Like, I don't know what prompted me to do this type of stuff. Like, these girls was in the backseat, like, screaming, like, oh my God, what is you doing? Like, have you lost your mind? So then the staff lady come out there, and somebody, I think E had told me which one was the brake. She was like, the brake is on your left. And I was like, I pressed on brake, and she's like, okay, now put it in park or whatever, because she knew how to drive apparently. And I was like, that's the only way to save me, because she knew how to put the car in park or whatever. So the lady come rushing out there, and she like, I think she even cussed. I think she said, get your out of the seat and into the back or whatever. And I just giggle like, girl, that was not funny. Like, I'm telling Essence, that was not funny at all. You could have killed somebody. We finished doing stuff at Play-Doh Closet. We get back home. I'm thinking like, I'm off the hook, whatever. She shouldn't have left the car unattended. It's her fault. Just being real immature. So she come upstairs, which is my favorite staff member. She was my mentor, because each one of us had like a little mentor person that we talked to, and she was my person. And like, she was like, I don't want to do this because nobody got hurt, but I have to put it in the book, and I know they're gonna want to put you on punishment. I hadn't even been on punishment ever since I had been there. So I was like, what? And she was like, no TV, no phone calls. A picture somebody tell you all of those things, and you like, okay, I'm already in a group home and I cannot have a phone call. So that right there upsetted me. So I immediately went off like, what the fuck? Y'all trying to tell me what to do, and I'm watching TV when I want to. I think I called a ruckus that night. Being childish, immature, like I said, angry at everybody, and I could have killed somebody. No computer time, no nothing. This was around when Bebo was up, so I was already mad. I got on punishment, and the next day, I think the other staff member, I'm gonna call her Kay, she came in there and was like, Essence, why would you do that? Like, I legit don't know why I did that, y'all. Like, I don't even know. Like, it was the dumbest thing I could have done. So I definitely deserved that punishment. So I don't know why I was even tripping. But yes, I got in the car. I thought I put it in neutral instead of reverse, and it started rolling back. And if it wasn't for E, we would have probably been crashing into somebody else's car. Like, I didn't look back, nothing. I didn't even know how to operate a car. I never drove a car. So I don't know what prompted me to get in the front seat. And that was my first F up. So, and then E, she used to go home a lot, or to her boyfriend people's house. I don't remember. She used to go home a lot. She used to bring back cigarettes. Like, our other roommate was like, bring me one back when you go next time, when you go next weekend. Bring a whole pack. I'm gonna give you my allowance to bring a pack or whatever, because I can use one. And I'm like, yes, y'all, don't even judge me. I said, don't judge me on this channel. Yes, I smoked a cigarette. Ugh, I wouldn't even touch a cigarette. Like, are you serious? I wouldn't even touch a cigarette now. I don't know what prompted me to do that. She ended up bringing cigarettes back to the house, and we did a good job of hiding it. And everybody was on them Jones. Like, everybody in the house, except for, I think, one girl. Because she was like a Pritzky girl or whatever. I'm going to get on her in a minute. So, it was actually a staff member that smoked. And she came upstairs, and she was like, why do it smell like cigarettes? And I was like, I don't know. And she was like a little hood joint. Her name was, I'm just gonna go ahead and say her name, Ebony. Her name was Ebony. So she she was like, why do it smell like cigarettes? So I'm like, I don't know. She was like, well, you just came out of the bathroom. I was like, I don't effing know. Like, why are you saying that it's me because I came out of the bathroom? It was plenty of people in the bathroom before me. So then she like, well, if I find a cigarette up here, I'm gonna write all y'all up or whatever. So somebody ended up smoking the cigarette and thought they flushed it down the toilet and did not flush it down the toilet. So the staff member went upstairs and she found it in the toilet. This is a different staff member. She found it in the toilet, and all of us was on punishment until somebody told her who bought the cigarettes. E took the rap. She was back to, she couldn't even go home. She couldn't even go home no more. So we straight got caught. I don't know who left the cigarette in the toilet. I think it was Key. I think it was her because she used to do dumb stuff. So, and she used to be pressed about them Jones. So I'm just like, bruh. So we all was on punishment. And when the girl, the ratchet Joan came back, Ebony, she was like, she came in our room like, I knew y'all was smoking cigarettes. I know how cigarettes smell. I smoke them. I smoke Black and Mild, so I know how tobacco smells. I'm saying, she a hood Joan. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm just like, you know, we bumped heads a couple of times because we kind of like, we was kind of alike. So, and we had, you know. But yeah, so I'm like, all right, Ebony. And she was like, I'm just saying, y'all should have just, it was better for me to catch y'all than somebody else or whatever. So, I think me and her got into it like once, and after that, like she used to, when I was in a transition of getting adopted, I used to go to school across town. So my parents were trying to transition me into high school across town. So she used to drive me to school every morning. So me and her became close, and like she was cool. So yeah, but yeah, we got caught smoking cigarettes. I wouldn't touch a cigarette with my last breath in me. My last story, before I end this video, this young was 40 some minutes, and it just, I wanted to talk about my experience to let y'all know all group homes are not bad. I don't know why I ended up in this group home, but it was like living at a sorority house, like literally. So, and I don't have any complaints about it. So this is, I'm going to end with this. So the girl named Gloria, I don't know what happened, but I needed my hair done so bad. I think we was going out that weekend. I don't know. She was like, she used to do her hair all cute, you know what I'm saying, and pin curls and blah, blah, blah. However, I think I had put tracks in my hair. Well, I bought some tracks to put in my hair. I used to do glue ends. So she was like, you want me to glue your weave or whatever? You want me to glue your weave? When I say this girl glued my hair, the hair was pretty afterwards. Like she flipped it and everything or whatever. And I used to get like the natural 10-inch on, you know, to add a little bit thickness to my hair or whatever. So she definitely pin curled it and made it look cute. But I went to feel in my head one day, and like the track was literally glued to my hair. I cried so bad taking it out. I was like, you effed up my hair. Like, I was crying so bad, y'all. My sister actually knew the girl, and I was on the phone. I'm like, at that time, my hair was healthy. So I'm just like crying to my sister, like, I let Gloria do my hair, and she like pulled my hair out. My hair is like, I'm bald. Like, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, she was gluing wherever she wore glasses, so I'm just not understanding how the hell did she put my tracks on my hair? Like, I'm just not understanding. Like, did you do it on purpose or what? So, I was crying, and she was like, did you want me to help you take it out? And I told my sister was like, when I see you, I'm gonna beat you. And you pulled my sister hair out. And she was like, I'm sorry. She came in my room and apologized, like a sincere apology. And I just was like, I don't know how I wore my hair after that, but I think I don't know how I wore my hair, but she pulled, my hair was, if you don't glue in tracks right, if you know how to do hair, if you don't glue tracks in right, you know that it's going to pull your hair out. So, yeah. Anyway, that was one of my experiences in the group home, and I just was like, bruh, she straight pulled my hair out. Like, this is the only hair that I have, and you know we in a group home, so we can't You know what I'm saying? I can't get my aunt to do my hair and so forth. Actually, I think I got my cousin to do my box braids or whatever. My cousin braid hair, so I got her to do my box braids after that because I really didn't know what to do with my hair. My hair was so thin afterwards because it came out with the glue. Yo, I don't even want to talk about it. It's making me mad because I can't even explain it to y'all. Like, she really messed up my hair. Like, that... Anyway, that was like the worst thing that could happen to me in the group home. But other than that, my group home experience was really simple. I used to do really dumb stuff, but I've lived and I learned, and I'm on a different track in life. And I think me being in a group home kind of molded me into being the person I am today. And I feel like if I would have went to my parents' house before I went to a group home, if I would have got adopted before I went to the group home, I would have probably been, you know, still on the same stuff. And not saying I didn't do anything bad when I was after I got adopted, but I was a much better person when I got adopted. So, and I think being in that group home molded me into, you know, being independent and being around positive people and stuff like that. Like, it really molded me into being the person I am today. Like, would I want my child to experience going to a group home? No. No, I wouldn't. I don't care how good a group home is. Like, I feel like a child is supposed to be with their parents. And I was not that bad for my grandma to send me to a group home. I missed out on birthdays with my family. I missed out, you know, growing up with my sisters. And we were separated like all my teenager life for real, and I felt like I missed out on that. And you know, I think that's why I mean, my relationship with my sisters are, you know, my relationship with my sisters, but I think we will be closer if we grew up like together in the same house and stuff like that. But I feel like after my mom went to jail, we were separated. And then I'm the youngest, so I was never their age, so I didn't get to really hang out with them. So, but yeah, that's my group home experience. I'm sorry this video was long, and don't go to a group home. If you're a young girl watching this, don't go to a group home. It's not worth it. Do what your parents say. I don't think they even make group homes like mine anymore. So don't think you're about to go to a nice group home like mine. So next up, I will be telling my adoption story. That one would be much shorter because it is nothing really traumatizing that I have to tell you guys in the adoption story. But I want to touch base on it because it is a beautiful story. And yeah, I hope you guys like this story. Let me know if you have any questions of what I said, or if you would like me to elaborate on something. Let me know. I wouldn't mind doing that. And if you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this getting to know me kind of story time. And yeah, don't go to a group home, and do not get in a driver's seat if you don't know how to drive. Okay? Bye.